ladies and gentlemen, no matter whether you work or a member of organized labor, no matter where you work in the city of New York, whether you're going to your doctor's appointment or taking your children to school, the transportation system, public transportation, is the lifeblood of this city. And quite often it goes unrecognized as the importance not only of the infrastructure, but more importantly of the men and women who work transporting us day in and day out at every corner of this city. The president of the TWU is here. He's a sponsor here today, our friend John Samuelsen.
And I want to say thank you to President Diaz for putting this event on and honoring the working people of this city, honoring organized labor. I want to say thank you to Speaker Carl Hastie for talking about the necessity of prevailing wage on construction projects, on state-funded construction projects. Certainly I will say that you're showing the way of what a progressive should be, because you don't get to define yourself as a progressive if you attack prevailing wage for workers. That's the way it is. I also want to thank all the elected officials in the room who had a role in pursuing the increase in the minimum wage, the long-coming increase in the minimum wage. So thank you very much. I know the room is filled with folks that supported that. Now, again, like Vinny, I'm not from the Bronx, I'm from Brooklyn. Proud to be from Brooklyn. Surrounded by Yankee fans up here, I'm sure. I said that once before, especially Ruben. So, but 30 years ago, I graduated high school in Brooklyn. I graduated Nazareth High School on Avenue D. And 30 years ago, when I graduated high school, there were still manufacturing jobs all over Brooklyn. There were unionized machine shops all over Queens. Manufacturing jobs throughout the 5 boroughs, actually. It's a different world now. When I graduated, I could have went into one of those union jobs in Brooklyn, 10 minutes from my house, making a good union wage. Those jobs are gone. They're eviscerated. And I appreciate President Diaz's opening comments when he talked about job creation in the Bronx, because at the end of the day, if we don't have a good job earning a decent wage, we can't do the thing that we have to do in life, which is take care of our families and try to leave this world a better place for our children. So I want to talk about one specific thing, which it didn't occur to me to talk about till just now, actually. We have an economic engine in New York State, a $12 billion economic engine called the MTA. And right now we are in discussions, and hopefully they won't turn into heated discussions, to get the MTA to begin to think about using that $12 billion engine that they have to create jobs for working families across the neighborhoods in New York City and beyond. This is an engine right now that is actually sparking jobs overseas to some extent, rather than using the taxpayer dollars of New Yorkers, working New Yorkers, to create jobs for New Yorkers. So we're in conversation. In fact, I've had conversations with Mario, I've had conversations with Vinny Alvarez. We have folks here from Jobs to Move America. We could use all the help that we can to compel the MTA in New York State to begin to use their muscle to self-adopt regulations that would create RFPs that would show favor, if that's even a legal word, but who cares, that would show favor on manufacturers in New York State to employ New Yorkers. It's a long time coming. This is something that should have been done decades ago, and now is the time to do it. We're embarking on a really well-funded MTA capital plan. There's an acquisition of a bus fleet coming. There's an acquisition of a train fleet coming. There's a whole supply chain connected to all of that. And there's absolutely no reason why the taxpayers that fund this MTA system shouldn't benefit by being able to get our kids jobs in those factories and along that supply chain. So with that said, I'm going to leave with this comment. There's a presidential election going on right now. Some people supported Hillary, some people supported Bernie, some crazy people supported Trump. At the end of the day, nothing that they say means anything. It doesn't amount to a hill of beans if they don't create jobs for working families in America. Thank you very much.